Hi everyone, it's the Craft Nut, and I'm on day 3 of creating flowers for my anniversary cake on the weekend. Yesterday I made the daisies, and I just wanted to share with you some of the dried daisies. When you make the daisies, you put them on the leaf former, right over here that I have some of the leaves on that I'm working on today. But when the daisies are dried and you pick them off, they have cornstarch all over them. And that's okay, the cornstarch helps it come off of the dryer. If you don't put cornstarch on it, it will just dry and it will actually stick to the former and it'll be garbage. A couple of things you can do when you take it off. This is what I find most easy. I have these Wilton brushes, and you just give them a dust. And they're pretty sturdy. And it comes out great, looking just great. Daisies are a little temperamental, so you kind of have to be careful how rough you get with them and not to drop them or anything like that, because the petals do crack, and then that's a pain. And then when you're storing them, if I can show you, I have them all just standing up on a styrofoam circle. And that tends to keep them rather safe and secure so that they don't get knocked around or anything like that. And so this is a little guy that I made. And they're nice to have all different sizes, just like the roses, and they kind of give the cake a realistic look. This one was still covered in cornstarch. You just give them a dust and they look great. And then you can, this is just a dummy cake. Dummy cakes for cake decorating is great because you can arrange your flowers on them ahead of time so you don't have to work on your actual cake. And helps you get everything in proportion and ready to go. Today I am working on creating the leaves. I have my gum paste under my tin foil so that it stays nice and nice and wet. It doesn't have any air get to it and dry and crack. I have wires wrapped in floral tape. You wrap the wire in floral tape because you don't want wire touching the food. It's not food safe and it can cause harm if you eat any of the wire, that kind of thing. So wrapping it in the floral tape keeps it away from the food. I'm also using a little veiner. It has the decoration or the design of the leaf on it. So when you punch out your leaf, you then rub it on this and it will give the leaf an impression. Just like this. It's not picking up all the detail, but it's some of the detail. In person, it has all of the little veins in it as well. So leaves are just as important as the flowers. So when you're doing it, you need to make sure you create a lot of leaves to give your bouquet or your arrangement as realistic as a look as possible. When you get a bouquet of flowers or anything, there's always a ton of leaves. So I learned the hard way a couple of times making cakes. I had to go back and rearrange my flowers because realizing I didn't include enough leaves. It just doesn't look right without all the foliage, however you say that. So I have 3 different sizes here that I use. And again, it kind of gives your arrangement really nice kind of reality to it. It helps it look as real as possible. So I find some of the bigger ones with the bigger flowers and the smaller ones with the smaller flowers and whatnot. Or just even to fill up space when you have 2 bigger flowers that come together, it's nice to have leaves in and around there as well. So I have my little flower I'm going to go ahead and punch out. When you're doing the leaves, you want to make sure that you don't roll your gum paste too thinly because otherwise it's really hard to work with and then it begins to break once it is dry and it comes off. And then that's just frustrating when you're arranging your flowers and everything breaks, it's hard. So there's the design in the leaf. You just turn it over backwards and without trying to press on the designed part as much as possible, you put your wire right up the back and then you just give it a pinch. So some of it did rub off right around the wire, but the majority of the leaf still has the design on it. And when you're letting the leaf dry, it's important to let it dry in a natural position. The way you would see a leaf, the way it would normally dry, instead of having it backwards or laying the veined part down and whatnot. Like, it's harder that way to have it look natural. And again, there's cornstarch on the leaf, on the flower leaf shape drying thing. and it'll just help it come off. And if there's any cornstarch left on it, you can just take your Wilton brush or whatever brush you have and give it a good dusting. And because it is hard when it dries, you need to have it in a position that you're happy with before it dries. So if you're not happy with laying it down, you can turn it over and let it dry a different way, and it will take the shape of however you lay it down to dry. So that's today's video with the leaves and the updates on the daisies. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi again. I just wanted to mention, while you're using your the veiner for the leaves for your flowers, if it gets really sticky and if your fingers get sticky, just rub some shortening on them, and then rub some shortening on your tool here, and it will help everything not stick. And it works really well, and it's less frustration all around, and things come out just beautifully. So that was one thing I meant to mention the last time I was filming and forgot. So anyways, thanks for watching, and bye.